today we're going to make our rug, or we're going to start to make our rug. I have my hook and my fabric yarn and my pattern, and we're all set to go. So today what we're going to do, if you think about a rag rug, or an oval one or a circle one, you crochet in the round. So you start in one area, work down, have the bottom area with some increases to give you a nice rounded appearance down there. Work your way back up, and you have to do the same kind of increases at the other end so that you have a uniform looking rug and not something out of the Twilight Zone. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with our foundation chain. Whatever you decide to do, I wouldn't do too many for your practice because, you know, it's practice and you'll probably just rip it out anyways, unless you're really good, and I never was at first. Just do a practice one. I started with about 10 or 11 foundation chains here, and I have my tail. My tail is very important. Don't crochet that back in. You want to have that out so you can find it in the future. Alright, so I did my foundation chains, and I am going to go back to crochet back to the tail. When I get back to the tail, you may think you've already done something, but you have. But that, when you get back to the tail, it's really where row 1 begins. And so when we get back there, crochet back to the tail, this is where we're going to do an increase. That's where that 3 comes into play. So I'm crocheting back up to the tail. You all know how to crochet single crochets. If you don't, go find a YouTube video that will show you how to do that. And then come back to this video. And we're using Laura's pattern, and I can email that to you or something if you have a request for that. Okay, so I'm back up here to my last stitch, and I put a crochet in my last stitch. But there's a 3. What does that mean? So, okay, so this is where we're going to increase. The pattern says 3. Alright, so I put 1 crochet in here, but then I'm going to put 2 more. That gives me 3 stitches, 3 single crochets in 1 stitch. That's going to help give me my rounded appearance at the one end of the rug. So I've got 3 stitches here at the beginning, my tail. That means my beginning of my row 1. My tail is my indicator where that starts. And now I'm going to go work down to this other end. Find the other end, the last stitch, and take one of these stitches at the end and put 3 single crochets in 1 stitch. So what you're going to do is you're going to crochet back down the other side, find a last stitch, put 3 in 1, and start to work your way back up. After you've done that 3 in that 1 stitch, you've completed row 1, and you're going to crochet yourself back up to the top where the tail is, and that will be the top where you will start row 2. So in summary, what I did is I made a foundation chain, got to the bottom, did 3 stitches at the end, crocheted back up to the top, and this is where, nope. Foundation chain, came back up. Now this begins row 1. I'm going to put 3 single crochets in 1 stitch, work my way back down, find the, you don't have to count, just look for the end down here, 3 single crochets in 1 stitch, and work my way back up to the tail. And that's where row 2 is going to start. And row 2 is just like row 1. You're going to find the top of the curve up here, pick a stitch, don't have to count, 3 single crochets in 1 stitch, crochet back down to here, find the curve, pick the middle of the curve, pick the stitch, 3 single crochets in this, and then work your way back up to the tail again. Then we will begin, stop about here, halfway up. This will begin row 3. All right, I don't know if this makes sense. I We'll put a link to Laura's wonderful instructional videos in my comments below, and you can always refer to that. But hopefully this helps you and can at least get you started. Message me or email me if it doesn't make sense.